So like how you handle one thing is how you handle everything in your life. Whether it's a good day, bad day, a fight with your wife, fight with your girlfriend, whatever it may be, right? He keeps his head straight. He knows what he wants, and he's not afraid to tell anybody. So that's something I took from him too.
The amount, expensive new berries I couldn't even pronounce. No gun polish, just stick in the party. Hope nobody gets out of their body. Got itself version was full of that.
Marlowe Aguilar. I'm with AT&T currently, and I'm on the business side of AT&T.
All right, for sure. How long have you known this guy, Joe?
12 years. 2011. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
2011.
Yeah, I think it was right after your mom died.
Yeah. Right after my mother passed.
Have you been like friends, clients, both?
So the way we met was at 24 Hour off of Sunrise.
All right.
And I was working out. He came up to me and said, try one of my workouts, I'll do one of your workouts, so we switch days. And I think maybe a couple days gone by.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm a trainer here at 24. I'm like, fuck. Like, I thought he was trying to get me, right?
Yeah.
But no, he never did. And it just turned into a friendship from there.
Yeah, I was still in school at the time. Yeah, I was still going to school, and I remember that he was very consistent because there wasn't too many people that trained at that time. So I just seen that he was always there, I was always there, and we just started working out together, and we put like little classes together, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, we did do classes together. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did a lot of things together.
It's like group exercise classes.
Well, we actually did it. So like me and him actually did it. So I would put together like 10 different exercises. We'd have to do like 1 minute rounds and then switch, and then more and more people started to sign up, and I tried to get a thing going, and then they just weren't about it. And I was like, fuck it, we'll just do our own thing.
Yeah.
They were so late with everything. And now all of a sudden, that kind of stuff is like everywhere.
It's in. Yeah.
Yeah, they were
It's the
just
thing to
late.
do.
They were just late with everything. People are normally late with things.
So we were doing CrossFit before CrossFit became a thing.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. I mean, I was
11, yeah, I could see
we were doing all kinds of shit with chains, and it was stuff that I did in prison.
that.
Yeah.
All the hard shit with no rest, basically.
Pretty much.
Straight up.
It's a super set.
Yeah, so it was like 1 minute rounds. So you had like stations, and then the stations were done for 1 minute, and then you'd repeat, and then we'd have to like run around the entire building, come back in, get a little bit of rest. I mean, we were doing like pulls with the sled, with the rope, and like carry I had a big old punching bag, so we'd carry like a punching bag around the gym.
Yeah.
Remember that? Yeah, we were just doing all kinds of stuff, push-ups with chains. Every single week was different though. It was never the same workout. So I'd come in, he'd be there second, and then the group just kept building and building and building. Yeah.
Freestyle.
Stuff I used to do in prison too. Yep.
You feel like Joe has impacted your life in any certain way, positive way?
Yeah, of course. Just from his work ethic, and that's something that my mother, I believe, I instilled from her, and just being around, the same type of people, right? What's the saying? You show me 3 of your friends, I'll show you your future. So it's that type of deal. So we know a lot. I feel like we know a lot of people, but there's only a few of them where you can actually call them your friend. We can go weeks without talking to each other, and we'll text each other, and it's just like as if we talked yesterday. Yeah. So.
Pick right up where you left off.
Yeah. As far as like impacting my life, from some of the things that he's been through, some of the things I've been through, maybe not the same situations, but I think we shared and felt the same feelings, and going through the hardship of that and getting through it, I believe is the same things that we've been through. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no.
So like, we can go through different things, but I can feel like her story because I felt that feeling before. But it's two separate things, right? So, yeah. And I think that's how we built common ground at that point.
Yeah, I remember when I was the fitness manager at the time at 24, I actually had him come in as one of my guest speakers. And at the time, he was working for Primerica.
Yeah.
And I'd have a guest speaker every single month when I was a fitness manager at 24 Hour Fitness, and he was one of my guest speakers. And he asked, well, what do you want me to talk about? I said, just talk about your success and how you do things and how you actually perceive success. And I remember him coming in with his son, and his son was on his lap, and I thought to myself, this is absolutely incredible. because most people want to separate things. Like, you know, I have a thing about being bubbled into like Joe's the trainer, or Joe's the competitive athlete, or Joe just likes to have sex parties, or Joe just likes to do drugs, or Joe, like there's no title to Joe. I just want to live my best life possible, because I was contained in a box for many, many years. And he came in, and my only guest speaker with his son. His son was on his lap, so he actually incorporated his son into coming in as one of my guest speakers, and I thought that was absolutely incredible.
Can I get one of those too? Waters.
I thought that was absolutely incredible on how he did that, because his son was right there, and he incorporates his son in everything. Like, I actually look up to him in terms of a father figure. Like, he is a fantastic father, probably the best father I know in my entire life. And my interpretation of a father is shitty as hell, because of my background and even me as a father. I mean, I'm a biological donor, but that's about the extent of my parental skills. And he's had many conversations with me about my son and the traumas I've had with my son, and he's a fantastic father. Like, he's all in. He's all about his kids. And that's a rare thing for a man. For a woman, not so much. Like, you meet a lot of good mothers, but you don't meet a lot of fantastic fathers that are just all into their kids. That's a rare thing.
Anything else you want to say about this dude right here?
About Joe?
Yeah.
One of a kind, for sure. He mentioned, you know, partying and all that stuff, but that's not who he is. That doesn't define him. If you know his story, which I believe we are filming, right?
Yeah.
You'll get to know him, where it comes from. He's full of love. If you really know him.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, you may think he's a big scary dude or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, he'll whoop your ass and whatever it may be, right? But that comes from everybody, right? Whether it's the tats, the way he looks, how big he is, he's not like that at all. He shares stories with me. I don't know if he told anybody else, you know? So every time we hit the gym, whether it's, you know, an hour or two or whatever it may be, it's always a good talk. We share stories, and I see himself in me, pretty much. And I look up to him, and he may not know that, but I do. And just through his work ethic. And it's that says a lot about somebody, right? So, like, how you handle one thing is how you handle everything in your life. Whether it's a good day, bad day, a fight with your wife, fight with your girlfriend, whatever it may be, right? He keeps his head straight. He knows what he wants, and he's not afraid to tell anybody. So that's something I took from him too.
Appreciate you sharing that. That was awesome.
Yeah, during COVID, we actually worked. He was my workout partner during COVID. And I remember I was prepping for my bodybuilding show, and it kept getting pushed out, and it kept getting pushed out, and I was just like, I was so tired, and I was so depleted. And I remember that's when I actually separated from Andrea. I wasn't able to give her what she needed, and I left. And I remember talking to Marlowe about it, and he was just like, I mean, if that's what you feel like you need. And I said, I don't have quit in me. Like, I don't want to quit. I just can't give her the things that she wants. She can't handle this place that I'm in right now. And I remember didn't want to stop. Like, I just didn't want to stop. So I had to compete in a show that I didn't want to compete in. I was gone for like a month and a half, and I remember going through escrow a couple times. I was trying to buy a condo during the pandemic, and I fell out of escrow because I lost my job. And then Tom at the time put me on his payroll so that I can actually close on my escrow. I was separated from Andrea, and I was still competing in a bodybuilding show, and it kept getting pushed out further and further. And I kept thinking to myself, why the fuck am I doing this? Well, most people weren't competing. They were just like, fuck that, they're not doing it. And I said, fuck it, I'm not quitting. I ain't no fucking quitter. I'm not gonna let this fucking pandemic tell me what I can and can't do. And I remember talking to Marlowe about it, about the weaknesses that I've seen in a lot of people, and the weaknesses that I even seen in my in my wife at the time. We're so subject to what the masses actually tell us we're supposed to be doing. The masses tell us that we're supposed to be doing something, and then we're subject to listening. The masses tell us that we have to adhere to these rules, and all of a sudden we succumb to it. The masses tell us that, we got to wear masks, so we have to wear masks because they're telling us that, a piece of cloth is going to prevent us from viruses that are so microscopic that's going to get through there. Like we don't know. We forgot how to think for ourselves, and we're so concerned about what everybody else thinks about us. We're so concerned about what our wife thinks about us, what our kids think about us, what our friends think about us. And at the end of the day, the most important person that we should be concerned with is us, what we think about ourselves. We claim that we have high self-esteem and we love ourselves, but then the moment that other people think bad about us, we forget all about that. We forget about how we're the shit and when we're supposed to live our best life. But the moment 3 people have an opinion about us that's not right, we start believing their opinions more than we believe our own opinions. And that's one thing that I will never do. I'll never succumb to somebody else's opinions about me, because most of the time these opinions that are coming from other people, they don't even care about themselves.
Yeah.
They couldn't even tell you how to live a successful life. So why am I gonna care about their opinions? It's a very harsh way to look at things, but that's how I'm able to do the things that I'm able to do.
We're just not insecure. We're very secure with ourselves.
Yes, he is.
I've just been through a lot. I've been forced to actually stand on my own 2 feet by myself and stand next to the things that I believe in, where most people have not. Most people have not been tested on their beliefs. They haven't been tested on whether or not their true convictions and morals are what they claim they are. So it's one thing that...
Help inspire people, man.
Yeah, a lot of people, I believe a lot of people look at that too, especially the clients he has, all his friends, myself included, right? What he's been through. I mean, he just told you a little bit about it, and that was just one period of time during COVID. And I remember during COVID, I was like, you need to open up your own gym. Somewhat came true, right? Things fall out, but life lesson, and you move on from that.
I tried to do it during the pandemic. Like most trainers were leaving, and he was right there with me. He was one of my biggest supporters, and I did what I could. I did all I could, but that's another reason why I ended up doing shrooms. I remember talking to Marlowe about it. Like, man, I just feel like I'm confined. I feel like I'm back in prison. I just don't like the way that I feel, and all these nightmares kept happening, and I was in a very, very dark place. And shrooms to the rescue. And I remember I wanted Marlowe there, and the lady was like, no, can't have anybody there because it's going to mess up with the process. And I was like, well, I just don't trust myself. I may kill you. Like, literally, I told her that. I said, I may end up killing you. And she was like, I'll take my chances. I was like, okay. That was one of my biggest concerns, was me killing her. Not metaphorically, but literally.
You were gonna kill somebody?
Her.
The girl who gave you shrooms?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because things are gonna come out. There's a lot of things that I got buried. I got my.
You told her that, and that's why she hasn't seen you again?
She hasn't seen me again because of everything that I unloaded on her.
But you told her that before
I
your
did,
first
yeah.
session?
Yep. I thought that physically I was going to unleash all of the rage and all of the frustration that I had inside of me, and I thought I was going to kill her, legitimately. Not metaphorically, but legitimately kill her. I have no problem doing it.
Because you were feeling locked up?
Yeah. I was afraid. So I wanted him to be there just in case things got out of hand.
You think the pandemic affected other people who've gone through your situation like that? They have actually probably...
I'm not sure. I didn't spend a lot of time.
About that.
No, because during the whole pandemic, I was on prep. I was prepping for a bodybuilding show, and everybody, they kept getting pushed out, and that was an interesting time for me. And then I never did a bodybuilding show after because I didn't have the support from my wife at the time, because it was going to ruin our marriage. So I decided to not compete anymore for 3 years until most recently. Yeah.
Now, I know gyms being closed down fucked with a lot of people.
Ours wasn't. Ours wasn't closed down. We were open.
We found out through Eldorado CrossFit, if you have a garage, you're considered outside.
Yeah.
Because they were open every day. Every morning we were there.
My gym stayed open too.
Yeah, when
there
there-
people from SAC, everybody coming to Cameron Park.
When there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
And then when there's an excuse, there's a way.
Yeah.
Meaning you can find excuses all day. Excuses everywhere. My tummy hurts, my butt hurts, my pinky hurts, my toe hurts.
My kids are sick.
I got a sniffle. My left My left eye is fucking is
During
drained.
COVID, his left eye was hurt. It was like blurry,
Oh yeah.
and
Fuck.
my right eye was blurry. Same time.
Yeah, we're really
Same
bad.
fucking time. It was crazy. So I was going through a divorce at the time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was going through a divorce at the time, and he was there for me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
We've been there for one another through some times. That's another thing that actually, to me, that actually depicts somebody that's actually your friend or an associate, right? An associate or an acquaintance, they're seasonal. They come and go. They only come when the times are good. But a friend, you can call on them like at any given time, and they'll be there for you. They show up. And if you're not showing up for people, then you're really not showing up for yourself either, in my opinion. It's hard to be there for somebody and actually show the fuck up. Like, just really show up. You may not want to, you may not be able to, you may not even be in your right state of mind, but this person needs you. So you're gonna have to just show up for them because that's what they need at the time. And that's the difference between a friend over the course of 12 years. Because a lot of things happen in 12 years. A lot of things. I could have, bailed on him a few times. I could have let him down more than one time, and he just could have lost interest. Like, he's just another person, but I didn't want to. I just wanted to be there.
I appreciate that. You're always there, man.
I try.
There for the people, a lot of people, man. That's
I think that could also be like a negative too,
absolutely.
because I'm the same way too, right? So you forget about yourself too. You try to help everybody else. So
Sometimes you gotta have boundaries and
Yeah.
take care of yourself.
yeah,
Let them go through what they're gonna go through.
right.
Yeah, I feel like I take care of myself for the most part, but I know that there's some things I needed to work on too. So I'm always working on myself.
You need a lot of work.
I do actually.
The
I do.
amount,
My bicep
especially
is-
new berries I couldn't even pronounce. No gun polish, just sticking the party. Hope nobody gets out of their body. Got itself hurt, he was full of that money. We ain't even wanna have to kill nobody. Ride down ocean like Fast and the Furious. Coming red-handed, couldn't crank up the